Welcome to Warhammer Warscroll Review. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Grot Spider RIders.
Warscroll Review.
Grot Spider RIders are a part of the Spider Fang Grot faction. Their main strength is in their speed, 8-inch movement with a musician that adds 2 to their run rolls. 2 wounds and a 6-up save with the ability to go to a 5-up if they are in a unit of 5 or more. Their standard bearer grants them +2 to bravery when outside of 3 inches of enemy models, giving them a bit more protection from shooting. They have both melee and ranged weaponry. The spider bow is pretty weak, but has decent range at 16 inches, complementing the spider's high movement value. As stated, it's pretty weak, so it's best used hoping to score a wound on a weak support character or artillery crew. The Riders can also use their spear in combat, but this is also pretty weak. Their main use in combat is the giant spider's fangs. 2 attacks, hitting and wounding on 4s, no rend, 1 damage. The spider venom rule is what makes these things fierce. If you roll a 6 or more to hit on the spider fangs, it automatically scores a mortal wound instead of its normal damage. A unit at minimum strength is statistically going to score 1 or 2 mortal wounds in the combat phase. For 100 points, this is a solid ability. They start in units of 5, and for over 500 points can max out at units of 30 models. Unless you can offer something else more threatening, these things are going to get shot off the table and lose a lot of models in combat, so they may be better in units of 10 or 15 if you want to do some damage with them. Their weapons, in addition to the spider's ability to ignore all terrain, makes this unit a great harasser, able to deliver a killing blow when needed. Seeing a Spider Fang Grot's army is unlikely. There are only 3 options, and they don't have very good allies either. You may see the Riders as an ally to another Grot faction to act as a more mobile component to the army. But a Destruction Grand Alliance is the faction you're most likely to see these models. Rampaging Destroyers can offer them some extra movement, giving the Grot Spider Rider a maximum movement of 22 inches. With a large unit of Spider Riders, they may do well to have the buff from a Destruction General's Bellowing Tyrant command trait. Gordrak is an obvious choice to synergize with any destruction unit. Coupled with the Grot Spider RIders, Gordrak's command ability would give a unit of 10 spiders 40 fang attacks. Statistically, that's around 6 or 7 mortal wounds. That's pretty powerful. But for many less points, the Grot Big Boss on Gigantic Spider does the same thing statistically. This model's command ability would allow the Spider Fang Venom to trigger on a 5 instead of a 6. This effectively doubles the mortal wound output. With either general, the Arachnarok Spider is a great support to the Spider Riders. The Grot Shaman's spell would double the number of mortal wounds dealt as a result of the spider's venom. This spell is really great and casts on a 4-up with an 8-inch range. Combined with either of the command abilities mentioned earlier, it would increase a unit of 10 spiders' mortal wound output to 13. Not that it's easy to get them all in combat, but a unit of 30 Spider Riders would be dealing almost 40 mortal wounds. When larger units of Grot Spider RIders are enhanced by one of the mentioned command abilities and the Shaman spell, the Spider RIders can take on anything, as long as the Destruction player knows that they will get destroyed in combat very quickly if they take any damage in return. When the player takes smaller units of Spider RIders without the benefits, they are best used to finish off a unit that only has a couple wounds left. 10 Spider RIders, the Arachnarok, and the Big Boss are going to cost almost 600 points. Which is the big downside to this combo, making them only usable in a Destruction Grand Alliance or a Spider Fang Grot's army, keeping their versatility relatively low. Destruction has a few other ways to deal mortal wounds, so compared to Grot Fanatics and Thunder Tusks, the Spider Riders may be a bit middling. This all earns the Grot Spider RIders a 3 out of 5. If Spider Fang Grots had their own allegiance abilities or more unit options, the Spider Riders would be a lot better as they'd be battle line. But as it stands, unless the Destruction player is already taking a Ragnarok and a Big Boss or Gordrak, they will be paying a lot of points to deal out a few mortal wounds. What do you think of the Grot Spider RIders? What Warscrolls would you like to see reviewed on the channel? Let me know your answers and thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.